99% of advertising doesn't work. The secret is knowing what the 1% is. And I believe that advertising is not to blame. I believe that marketing is. I just want to create a scenario for you. You know, when you come to an expo like this, and you're probably already doing this today, you meet somebody in a business expo, and you start with making a polite conversation. You talk about what a great venue it is, how lovely the weather is, what a great turnout, how it's way better than it was last year. There's so many more people here. And you get to the point where somebody says, "So, what do you do?" And you answer something like, "I own a business called Cuball Creative. I design websites and print marketing, and I help businesses make more money," if you're feeling adventurous and you want to throw a benefit on the end. What's missing is, it's just not that compelling. It's not that wow. It doesn't really do anything. So what happens from there on is you might, exchange ideas. You might say, "Oh, look, give me a business card, and if I ever need you, I'll look you up." And then you part company, and you never use that business card. You never phone anybody, because you just don't get why. There's just nothing there for you. There's no compelling reason to. So what I want to do is just open up that conversation and hopefully show you a couple of different ways to express yourself and what you do. And I'm going to start by reintroducing myself. Hi, my name's Paul. I contribute to the positive transformation of thousands of businesses every day. I do this by helping my clients explore new ways of thinking, and I create effective marketing communications to get the key messages that they want out to their clients. I empower passionate social enterprise business owners like yourselves by instilling confidence and clarity in your minds and in your businesses so that you can continue to serve your communities and provide the impact that you're committed to. Sounds a little bit more compelling, right? Statistics tell us that only 10% of businesses will make it through the first year of operation. And the 10% that do make it through the first year, only 10% of those will make it to the 5-year point. And the number one reason that so many businesses fail, like 90% in the first year, and of the 10%, another 90% in the first 5 years. The number one reason that those businesses fail is because they run out of money and they're forced to close the doors, close down the business. And the reason that there's no money, the reason that they run out of money is pretty simple. Not enough sales, which comes from ineffective advertising, which comes from poor marketing. So the topic of the conversation today, I can't see the slides from here, but I'm assuming it says something along the lines of the importance of marketing. So quick definitions. Marketing is the materials that you use to present your products and services, like business cards, flyers, vouchers, magazine advertisements, pull-up banners, poster billboards, websites, that kind of thing. Advertising is the act of putting those marketing materials in front of your target audience, and sales, obviously, are the result of effective marketing and advertising. So I spent a lot of years working for large corporations in the last 16 years. Their main interest, it occurred to me, was making money, surviving, looking good. And about 3.5 years ago, I decided that life really wasn't working for me, in my personal life, also in my business life. I had a business called Red TV, one of my projects, that put all the TV screens on the Brisbane City Cats. But it wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't really providing transformation. It wasn't really giving back. It wasn't doing anything other than paying the bills for me. And I was completely uninspired by that. So I started a period of self-development and reinvention, if you like, just to work out, what do I actually want? What's really important? And I got connected to my principles, and I got connected to my highest values. And I started to realign myself in my business life also. And what I realized was that when we're in service to ever-increasing numbers of people in alignment with our highest values, things start to look completely different. Things start to shift in business, and it becomes a lot easier to get out of bed in the morning and to do great work. And so I decided that I would surround myself by people that were in that same place where they actually wanted to give rather than to receive. And that includes all of the business owners, all the people behind the tables in the room today. They're here to actually give to their communities and to serve their communities and to provide transformation. So I figured, using the skills that I've got, I could actually help provide that transformation. So for every life that they change, I can actually be, in part, responsible for that change. So my transformation in the world is amplified. So if I help 100 businesses and they each help 1,000 clients, then my impact is 100,000 people's lives are transformed. So that's what gets me out of bed. So there's 3 things that I want to give you today as a takeaway, and they're only fairly short and they're fairly simple. If I'm teaching you to suck eggs, I apologize for that, but there's a lot of people, I'm surprised to see that there's a lot of people that just don't have an understanding of this. So if that's one of you guys, then hopefully you'll get something out of this today. So most organizations know what they do, i.e. their products and services, and they know how they do it, like their unique sales proposition or their methods, their structures. So for instance, I design great websites by understanding the target market, and I create words and images that sell to that target market. That's pretty simple, right? But very few people actually communicate effectively why they do what they do. So their purpose or their cause or their belief, the reason that they get out of bed in the morning. And it's not just for the money. It's not just so that you can pay the bills. There's actually something much more important that lies behind that. So the first thing we need to do is get present to, why does your organization exist, or why do you do what you do? And often when I ask clients this, they describe their, what do you do? Clients start to describe their products and services. And when I ask them why people do business with them, they talk about the benefits of their products and services. So you can make more money, or you can save money, or you can do things more easily, or whatever that might be. And mostly when they describe those things, they're using a pretty deadpan or monotone voice because they themselves are not inspired by what they're saying at all. They're just saying it because they don't know how else to express it. So what I end up doing is just sneaking up on them a little bit. And I start to distract them away from those business questions that relate to their products and services and their price and their way of selling. But I ask them, why do you choose this line of work? What makes you get out of bed every morning? What keeps you in this work? Why do you keep getting up and doing this every single day? And then people start to come alive and they start to get really passionate and they tell you the story. And you can see the passion as the story comes out. People get really excited and really animated about it. And they tell you everything with such enthusiasm. The conversation's full of possibility. And it often describes a better future for humanity, the future that they're creating or that they see. And a lot of the time it's in line with something that's happened in their past. It's something that's really important to them, some injustice that they've experienced earlier on in their life that they're now out to fix in the world. And that's what gets them out of bed. But you can just see this. coming out of people, this story, this passion, this drive, this determination. And like I said, it's always in alignment with their values and principles, and it's connected to something significant that happened in their past, some injustice. So this is the gold that we're searching for when we're communicating around our business, our products and our services. That becomes a little bit less relevant. What's really important is why you do what you do. This is how we touch, move, and inspire people, and we can enroll them in a better future. Martin Luther King, he didn't say, I have a business plan. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, or I have a belief. And what he described was the future that we could all live into. He didn't describe how he was going to get there. That was less relevant. He enrolled people in the possibility of the future that he was creating. And 250,000 people showed up with no marketing whatsoever, just based on people were touched, moved, inspired, and enrolled and registered in the conversation that he'd created. The next thing is, so that's discovering your why. So I guess the challenge there is for you to discover what it is that gets you out of bed. Why do you do what you do? And actually get present to that and to communicate that effectively with all of your marketing materials. The next thing is to discover your impact. So how do you know what your impact is? Well, you can measure your key performance indicators. That's one way of doing it. You can get meaningful statistics to back up what you're saying and to confirm that you are still on track. But there's something a lot more powerful than that, and it's surprisingly simple. You can just ask people. You can just ask your existing clients. The questions that you can ask are, what do you get out of doing business with me? Or what basic human need do I fulfill for you here? You know, whether it's safety or whether it's, money or comfort, healing, whatever that might be, everybody's products and services are different. But what you actually give is not your products and service, it's actually the emotion or the met need that you're servicing that was unmet before they came along. So if you actually start asking those questions, you'll get a lot better idea of what it is, what is the actual impact that you have in the lives of your clients. And once you're clear about that, and this might be just, ask 10 people, why do you keep coming back? How do I serve you? What do you actually get from me? What's the biggest thing that you take away from this organization or from our staff and our services and our products? There's a concept I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with, but it's used frequently in the area of marketing. It's called selling the sizzle, not the sausage. And often, as I said before, people describe the sausage, which is the product or the service, rather than the sizzle, which is the smell or the taste. So I'll give you an example here. One of my clients a couple of years ago is a business called Perfect Plate. And what they do, what their product or service is they have themed dinner party settings. So you can have a Game of Thrones dinner party or a Cinderella dinner party or whichever, a Sons of Anarchy dinner party. And the idea is that they will have all of the props, all of the table settings, all of the invitations, some menu ideas. And for $500 or thereabouts, you can have somebody turn up with all of this stuff in a box and unpack it for you. You have a great dinner party, and then they'll come and take away, clean up after you, and away you go. And when I was asking them, what is it that you sell, they described the service, the box of stuff, and we have this theme and that theme and the other theme. But what they were missing is that people aren't buying the contents in the box. People are buying something very different. And it's actually what they get out of having that box be on the table and unpacked. What they're actually buying is when they throw the party and their friends turn up, as they walk into the room, their friends have a reaction, and it's something like, oh my God, oh my God, look at this. And then they're telling everybody, you should have been there last night. It was freaking awesome. We had the best night ever. You should have seen the place. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And that's actually what they're buying for the $500, not the box with the plates and the cups and the saucers and the trinkets on the table. They're actually buying the admiration of their friends, their family, their peers, their colleagues. So that's what I'm talking about when I say the sizzle, not the sausage. So if you can get present to what it is that you provide, what's the sizzle, and communicate that effectively. So for me, when I ask clients what do they get from my services, having sat down and talked about their business, where they are and where they want to get to, and create a process for them to get to that point, a lot of it is about educating them about how to convey and what messages to convey. It's not just about building a website. And what they get, it seems, from the feedback that I'm receiving, is they get clarity and they get confidence. So even though I build websites, I build pull-up banners, I build logos and business cards and create designs, that's just the deliverables. That's not what I actually do, what I actually sell. What I actually sell is confidence in their business and clarity in what it takes to make that business succeed. So that's the sizzle, not the sausage that I'm selling. I just want to share another story, which is a conversation called Committed versus Attached. Sometimes in business, people get it wrong. And you would have heard Cameron earlier on this morning talking about how many times he's failed. And it's perfectly human and it's perfectly natural. In fact, it's kind of expected that people will fail. But it's how you deal with that, how you get up and you carry on that counts, rather than giving it up. Just over a year ago, I spent about 6 months working on a project, and the aim of the project was to raise money for a particular social enterprise. And that business is in the room today, Jane Leach from the Life 2 Foundation, because I was completely touched, moved, inspired, and enrolled in the conversation that she had with me about what she stands for, which is she provides empowerment retreats for women who've experienced domestic violence, and she heals, empowers, and educates those women and transforms their lives and helps them get back on their feet and out there in society again, functioning and successful. So I started an initiative to raise money for that, and I lost my focus, and I ended up trying to raise money for all of the social enterprise. And I was feeling great, and everybody was saying, this is a brilliant idea, this is going to work. And I got to the point after 6 months of investing my time and all of my energy into this project and not paying myself a cent that I was actually in a huge financial hole. And I was desperate to make it work, and I was pushing and pushing and pushing to make it work, but it wasn't working. And one of my potential clients asked me the question, what's your plan B? And I just didn't have one, because I was so convinced that what I was doing was the right thing because everybody told me so. And I was so convinced that there's no way this can fail. Everybody says, you're on a winner here, Paul. This is gold. This is amazing. But it didn't work. And I hit the realization right there, oh crap, there's a huge problem, and nobody saw this coming, not even me. In marketing, who spent 6 months working on this and talking to a heap of people, nobody saw this coming, but here it is. So the question was, what was your plan B? And I didn't have one. And so I dropped the project. I dropped it like hot brick, just I need to go and get myself a real job. But instead of giving up, what I did was I just took it as a learning experience. And I decided that, okay, well, this is just a stepping stone, because I'm committed to that project. I'm committed to working in domestic violence, in prevention and crisis response, but I'm no longer attached to how I do that. And so when you get present to what it is that you're committed to in the world as a social enterprise, as a charity, as a not-for-profit, what gets you up out of bed every morning? What gets you fired up? What gets you to come alive when you talk about it? What's really driving you every single day? That passion, when you get connected to that, it doesn't matter how you deliver. It only matters that you deliver. So if it's not working, so what? Find a different way. It doesn't matter how you do what you do. It only matters why you do what you do. I'm currently working on that same project, but it's in a different format, and it's way bigger, and it's way more impactful, and I'm way more empowered around that. So I haven't lost the vision. Actually, it's given me more vision, more clarity, more power, more drive, more determination. And if this one doesn't work, I don't care, because we'll just come up with another one, a plan C or a plan D. Because what I'm committed to is more important than being attached to how it looks and how I deliver on that commitment. So in conclusion, there was 3 things there. Understand and get connected to your why you do what you do. Never lose focus on that. Discover and acknowledge the impact that you provide, because when you're clear about your impact, nothing else will get in the way. And always have a plan B. It doesn't matter if plan A doesn't work, if plan B doesn't work, if plan C doesn't work. If you're truly making a stand for that you're making a stand for, it doesn't matter how many plans there are, you just keep going, and you'll get there. And last but not least, just express this clearly in every communication, everybody that you talk to, all of your marketing. And that's it. Thanks to everybody in the room for all the amazing work that you're doing, and thanks to everybody in the room that came to support those people. I hope what I said has been useful to some of you in some small way. If you have any questions, I'll be out in the foyer. If you'd like to come and talk with me then, feel free to grab my number off the screens and give me a call at any time. Thank you very much.